Today I'm showing a language activity that can be used with a back to school theme, and it's suitable for preschoolers or any students whose language is delayed in about the 1 to 5-year-old language level. And it's based on the Derbyshire language scheme, which works on developing students' receptive and expressive language in terms of the number of keywords that they understand in an instruction and the number of keywords that they can put together to make sentences. So I have some materials here. I have some picture vocabulary, and these are just cut out, printed on cardstock and laminated and cut out. And they are stuck on here with the mounting putty. I have the Scotch make, but there are different makes. And in here I have some more vocabulary that I'm going to use. And then over here I've got a girl, obviously, and a backpack and a desk. And this backpack is printed on cardstock and laminated. And then there's a second one that's, again, printed on cardstock, cut out and laminated. And it's secured on with Velcro. And this is just for durability because the students are going to be putting things in the backpack. So if they tug at it, then it's not going to rip off. If it's glued, it will just give at the Velcro. And then the same thing over here. The desk is printed on cardstock, and then the second one printed and laminated and cut out, and just an opening made there. So the students are going to be putting things in the desk. And then I have a second one over here that is a boy's backpack and desk, and I'll explain more about that one in a minute. So when we work with the students, the instruction that we give them will depend on their language level. If I was working with a student who is working on understanding receptive vocabulary or just single words, then I can just put 2, maybe 3 items out here and ask them to find one of them by name. So can you find the book, or can you find the scissors? Or I can put out in my hand and say, can you give me the book and give me the scissors? So obviously the contextual cue of putting your hand out makes give me redundant because that's a given. So the only keyword they need to understand is either book or scissors. So if they take the item, let's say I say, can you find the scissors? And then I can make this into another language, another single word instruction. If they have the scissors, or I'm holding the scissors in front of them, I can ask them to either put the scissors in the backpack or put the scissors in the desk. And so the key word there would be backpack versus desk that they have to understand. Even if I say put the scissors in the backpack, scissors is redundant because that's the only item that's in front of them. So here I'm going to go ahead and put the scissors in the backpack. And usually when I introduce the task, I introduce it as a fun thing, like the children are clearing up and they need to put their things away, or they're getting ready for school. So we just try and make it a fun activity. And then here now, there's only one item out, so if I want to give another single word level instruction, I'll need to replenish with something else. So I'll take one out and put that one there. And again, I might say, can you find the book? And they can take that one off. And then again, I can say, can you put the book in the desk? So desk is the only keyword in that instruction. Put that one there. So if I want to make the instruction harder, I can go to 2 keywords. And for this, I can show them the items and say, for example, can you put the glue in the backpack? So the 2 keywords in that instruction are glue, backpack. And again, here there's now only one item out. So if I was to say, put the crayon in the desk, then crayon is redundant because that's the only item here. That's kind of a given. They only have to understand the word desk to get that instruction correct. So if I want to keep it at 2 keyword level, I would put something else out, for example. So now if I say put the crayon in the desk, it's still a 2 keyword level instruction. We're going to put that one there. And children typically develop 2 keyword level understanding at around 2 years of age, and it's well established by 2.5 years of age. So there's a guide for you. Now, if I want to make it a little bit harder and go up to 3 keywords, then I can use big and small pictures. And I could say, for example, can you put the small sticky tape in the desk? So the 3 keywords are small, tape, or sticky tape, and desk. So I'm going to do that. And now, because I don't have a 4th item, I can still do a 3-word level instruction, but I would need to use the big lunchbox in my instruction so that there's a contrast to each level. So I've got small versus big lunchbox, and I've got big tape versus big lunchbox. So if I was to say, can you put the small lunchbox in the desk? There's only one small item there, so that would be narrowed down to a 2 keyword instruction. So I want to make sure I'm using the right word in my instruction so that I'm maintaining it at 3 keywords. If you want to make sure you're always working at a 3 keyword level, then you would want to replenish with, a big and a small item again, so that you've got a contrast for each word. So now if I was to say put the small lunchbox in the desk, then that's back up to a 3 keyword level. I'm going to put that one there. And children, we wouldn't use the words big and little in a 3-word level instruction if the student did not understand the concepts big and little or big and small at a single word level. It's okay to expose them to the vocabulary at that level, but we wouldn't necessarily expect them to get the entire instruction correct if they weren't familiar with the words big and little at a single word level. So that's just something to be aware of. And children usually develop 3-word level understanding at around 3 years of age, and it's well established at 3.5 years of age. Now we can make it harder again and go up to a 4 keyword level if we introduce the boy. And then we would say, this is the boy's backpack, this is the boy's desk, this is the girl's backpack, and this is the girl's desk. And again, we would need big and small items. So now we can say, for example, can you put the small pencil in the boy's desk? So small pencil, boy's desk would be the 4 keywords. And again, the same thing. Now we don't have a contrast for a small pencil. So we would have to use big notebook in our instruction if we want to maintain that at 4-word level. Can you put the big notebook in the girl's backpack? And with having, with 4-word level, children typically develop 4-word level comprehension at 4 years of age, and again, it's well established by 4.5 years of age. And with having the girl and the boy, we can also work on pronouns with these materials. So you can give instructions like, can you put the big pencil in his backpack, or put the small notebook in her backpack, or you can say she wants the big pencil in her backpack, or he wants the small notebook in his desk. So you can work on pronouns with this activity too. So here I've demonstrated this activity as a receptive activity. It's important to know your students' comprehension levels, as typically expressive language skills do not develop in advance of comprehension. So if a student is only understanding 2 keyword level instructions, typically it would be hard to get them to use 3 keywords expressively. So we always want to be mindful of their receptive language levels, and we want to pitch, when we're working on their expressive language, pitch our levels expressively, bearing in mind what their comprehension levels are. So that's always important to know. And you can use an activity like this just to get an informal assessment of where their comprehension levels are at. And then here I've demonstrated the activity as being a receptive task, but you can use the same materials in an expressive task too. And I will show that in another video.